Okay, today we are just going to do a little, just a short one, some kind of fun videos. We were talking before about the law and consumer rights, and tomorrow I'm going to spend more time getting into chapter 2 again. I'm going to go into product safety. But before I do that, I would like to just have a little fun today and also give you some information about, show you product safety and employment. Maybe I can do both. Actually I'll do the marketing plan thing separately. So just a quick thing about product safety, and then I'm going to go into a little bit about advertising law, which will be in chapter 9. Product safety, actually I think I did product safety. I made it, yes, product safety, fine. So what I'll do is just look at the marketing plan section in chapter 5. I did talk about this once before. Some people are asking me questions about the plan and the order of the parts of the plan. So what you want to do in your plan is you can follow in chapter 5 most of the order of that sample marketing plan, which of course you know is not really a marketing plan, it's just an outline for a marketing plan. So what you would do is you would start with your table of contents, of course, and this summary of the market position is based on, there's two differences in what you're doing and compared to this one. The first one is, of course, that you have to put all the research in to show your decision making. But the second thing is this donut plan says 5-year marketing plan, right? We're not 5 years in the future, and we didn't have a past. We're a startup, we're a launch, we're a new company. So that makes us a little bit different. So for example, the summary of the market position is really called an executive summary for you. A summary of the market position would mean like, where are we at now? An executive summary would be an overview of what you're going to talk about in the plan, just a short summary of the market itself and the opportunity that you see. An understanding of your positioning in the market, how big the market is, and what kind of growth it might see in the future. So that is followed by the pests. So it says current market, then you have your pest factors in there. They should be relevant for not just general taxes. No, not just taxes. How does taxes are going to affect your business? Is it a big effect? Maybe not. Maybe you have the same problems as everyone else. So you're really looking for factors that are very specific to your business. So if you're a restaurant, you have to worry about hygiene regulations that are much more complicated than, say, a retail clothing shop. A clothing shop doesn't really have to worry about food waste, for example. So some things that are very specific to each business. Economic factors. Don't talk about exchange rates. 99% of you are not importing or exporting anything. If there's no import or export, there's no exchange rates. I know that coronavirus is a big deal, but we're trying to imagine the world as it was about 2 months ago. So don't talk about coronavirus. Cultural factors, yes, definitely. There's a lot of interesting trends in there, and that should go and connect to your customer profile. Technological factors, update what is relevant for your particular product or service. Then you'll outline the product. Okay, what is the range of products that you're offering? So in this case, it talks about different kinds of donuts. I had this problem with a few of the restaurants, like Korean restaurant or Chinese restaurant. There's no indication of which kind of Korean or Chinese food that you're serving. There's so many kinds of food. China, at one point, you could eat a bat. Too soon? Are bats on your Chinese food menu? Probably not. So maybe you should outline which kind of products you're offering exactly. And services. So that should be the next thing. Then a competitor analysis. Competitor analysis, I gave you feedback on that. And there's no SWOT, because the SWOT is for your existing business. Your business does not exist yet. Your business is a startup. So you cannot say what is yours. It's like saying what are your strengths and weaknesses when you're born. Not easy, right? You can talk about the environment that you're being born into. You're being born into X country, with X family, with X socioeconomic power, and your genes have traits and all of these things. You could actually talk about environmental factors, which is why we have a past. But if you were just born, your strengths and weaknesses are like what? Being alive, not being dead. There, I just did it. Strengths and weaknesses. And then you would focus on your target market with the psychographics, geographics, and of course demographics. Outline, follow that. Inside your target market research and your understanding of them, one solid paragraph that describes the ideal customer that you're going to serve. Then, the goals. That makes sense, right? Goals. The goals of the business. We want to break even. You don't have to do a big calculation, but you know, where do you see, are you going to, A, have to invent a new market where you have to make consumers understand why they should be interested in this product? Something new. Or is it something that there's already competitors and you are just you're trying to find a competitive advantage in the market in order to take their market share away? So in order to do that, just outline a general target that you would like to reach, and we'll look at that in detail in the second semester. Then you have the marketing strategies. Obviously the book is too short. This one shows examples of 7 different market strategies. Not every business has 7, but you must have at least 4, and they should reflect your research and your competitive advantage. Your promotional one is the biggest of the 4, because your promotional one has different parts in it. It has 4 different parts of research. It has a justification of an explanation of your strategy, the media that you're choosing for that strategy and why. A big problem is people who just say Facebook. Facebook is a media now. It's not one station. If you look at a television, you know, if you say, I want to advertise on television, I say, okay, so what? Just put it on every channel every day? That's not going to work. It's going to be too expensive. There's a strategy to using television in an advertisement. You have to find programs or channels that are specific interests of your that your target market is interested in, and then you put the advertisements in those programs. Television is a media. Social media is a media. It's like the radio. There are millions of channels. It's got different ways to approach advertising. You don't just make a Facebook page and people come to your shop. It doesn't work. That's not a strategy. The strategy has to use advertising inside the media, inside Facebook, how to use it, where to use it, who to target, and you have to do a little bit of research on how to do that. So you should study a little bit about how to advertise on Facebook. If you show me that you understand that more than the average person who just said, put it on Facebook, it'll be fine, then you'll get more points from me, for sure. Show me you understand a little bit about advertising on social media, and that includes cost. So I don't need you to do a very super detailed cost budget, but I would like you to have some budget of what you expect to spend in your marketing. That includes all advertising. And finally, you're supposed to design an advertisement for the to show your ads, so we can see your image of your business. So when you design that advertisement, you should include, of course, the basics of advertising, which are slogan, brand, of course, brand, slogan, so 5 things. Brand, slogan, something that talks about the psychology of your customer you're trying to reach. Image, so some kind of picture that is communicating something to the customer. The more psychological, the better. And the 4th thing is that you have to have some kind of, you're looking for some kind of action, right? You're trying to get them to do something. So calling, contacting, checking out the Facebook page, a phone number. What are they supposed to do? What is the customer supposed to do after they see the advertisement? Look for it in convenience stores? I don't know. Come to our shop? What are they supposed to do? For more information, what are they supposed to do? And then you have to have contact information. You have to have a place for them to contact you. So those 2 are related, the last 2. So brand, slogan, image, action, what are they supposed to do? And last but not least, somewhere to contact you. So that's all part of the advertisement. So there's 4 parts of promotion. There's promotion that can be PR also, but there's a promotional strategy. There's the media that you're going to use. There's the cost that you're going to imagine. And then there's the actual physical advertisement. There's 4 parts. So please focus on that promotion section. And then you just have a basic, show me your research and your research sources, and that's it, you're done. That'll do it. So those are the main parts of your marketing plan. So I hope that that helps to clarify a little bit. And then I'm just going to play around with the rest of this half an hour with some ethics in advertising, but also there's some laws now. There's some laws about advertising. So, was it chapter 7 or chapter 9? I think we are far in the future. Yeah, it's in chapter 10. So, promoting unhealthy products, I'm on 121. So, when you think about promotion, obviously you should consider social, I guess 120. You should consider social norms, right? What's appropriate for Vietnamese customers may not be the same as, or as appropriate for customers in other countries. So, knowing what the standards are. In some countries, it's okay to make advertising that's aimed at children, but in Australia, it's quite restricted. The spending patterns that people have are dependent on holidays or quarantine, for example. I'm not spending any money. I don't even know where to spend it. Where would I spend it? I'm like, what can I buy? I just don't buy anything these days, which is kind of fun to not shop. It's kind of weird, but it's fun. Everything seems to be normal for the most part. I buy some drinks, but that's about it. Some food, that's about it. I don't have anything else to buy. There's nothing else to buy, which is refreshing. But that's obviously the economy's not very happy about that, but the environment is very happy about that. So maybe we're changing our method of living. Maybe we're going through a phase where we're changing our social norms and our expectations. Yeah, social norms, that section is not really about advertising in terms of law, but there are some laws in Australia. They've gotten stronger. I think when you think about unhealthy products, the number one unhealthy product that we can imagine is tobacco, right? I don't know, I'm sure they had lots of advertising for cigarettes in Vietnam a long time ago. Cigarette advertising has been, even when I lived in Czech Republic less than 20 years ago, it was still just becoming illegal to advertise cigarettes. And nowadays you can't even smoke indoors. That was about 2 years ago. So things are changing slowly, but that also is reflected in the advertising. Here's a really stupid ad. I just put it up there because you might know the product. Is it unethical? It says unethical. Is it unethical? I'm not sure.
Yes, start. Please, start to listen.
I don't know. I don't really think it's unethical. But anyway, I don't drink Sting, so maybe Sting has some weird ethical aspect to it that I don't know about. So advertising is definitely related to what we talked about earlier this year in terms of PR. A lot of companies, they will try to change their image through advertising, and we have laws against puffery, which is what we talked about. Puffery is what was two lessons ago. Puffery is about advertising and saying something that is unbelievable. Like, this is the world's best coffee, for example. Now, there's a gray area. You know, a company will take something and say, okay, well, we're helping the environment. Okay, well, there's a plus and minus there. You know, maybe they planted a few trees after chopping down a whole forest. Is that helping the environment? But they use advertising, and this one, H&M. H&M is one of the, you know, these fast fashion companies that is very, very, very polluting. Fast fashion is made in countries like Bangladesh and Myanmar, and these clothes are very cheap to produce. They're made to be disposable. There's lots of waste and poor working conditions. But here they are, sustainable. They say they're recycling.
Wear brown shoes after 6. Wear a hat indoors. Wear a short skirt after 40. Wear a short skirt if you're a man. Try too hard. Don't try it all. Dress like a girl. Dress like a man. Dress like a teen. Stand out. Blend in. Mix prints. Mix pink and red. Show your panty line. Go commando. Cover up. Show it all. Be trashy. Be neat. Wear pink. Wear blue. Wear yellow if you're blonde. Wear red if you're a redhead. Wear socks and sandals. chic, look sick, be a princess, be boring, take a stand, be uniform, be liberated, be old, be new. There are no rules in fashion, but one. Recycle your clothes.
That is amazing. Woo! That is really amazing. So yeah, I guess you can feel good about wearing all those blacked out clothes because of you're gonna recycle it. They're telling you to recycle them. They're not doing anything. So they're not really lying. They're just saying buy more of our clothes and you recycle. So that is amazing greenwashing. Greenwashing is when you take some kind of environmental friendly image and you try to put it on your company. But that's quite amazing. So we can see how PR tries to influence your beliefs about companies. It makes you think here that they care about poor people and what they're doing. They're helping children in poor countries. Why are they poor? Nobody ever asked that question. Helping African communities, young people. This is greenwashing, trying to say that this company is using pure water, even though they're, the plastic. So there's a lot of influence. Nike tries to use it. Coca-Cola is going to tell you that their packaging is sustainable. Really? Do you think so? And then you get, these advertisements that are starting to look at, children and young people. And that's where the law really gets much stronger. So here we're getting this kid, we want to get him to think about, first of all, so what they're doing is they're saying like, you're a kid and you're getting bullied at school, and then someday you'll be a man and you won't be bullied and you'll be shaving or something. That's a hard one. I don't know if there's any, that's a tough one. So thinking about, buying this product is going to help you in the future to be stronger. Is that Maslow? Anyway, 121. While some products are unhealthy and result in high costs to the community, they remain legally available and businesses sell them to earn income. They are legal, but governments regulate their sale and marketing and try to minimize the harm they do. So we know that cigarettes are only available in certain stores behind the counter, except in Vietnam, but in Australia you have to ask for them specifically. The packaging is turned white to keep people from seeing the brand image that's coming out of the colors of the brand. As consumers of unhealthy products get sick, the business must replace them with new users to keep making money. Jesus, that's cruel. That's very direct though. So the aim of regulation is to protect children from getting bad habits. So obviously I'm going to jump to tobacco first, page 122. Although tobacco is since 1992, it's been illegal to publish or broadcast advertising. So for Australia, it's been almost 30 years of advertising blocks for tobacco, and online advertising, which has always been a bit slow to be regulated, only started in 2012. So 30% drop in tobacco purchases since they banned the display of advertisements in the in point of sale. This is on top of page 123. So the ACCC had to brainstorm to do the plain packaging of cigarettes. In Australia, so you can see that you're not allowed to put any name of a company. I guess the company, you have to make it really small in the front, and you make a big picture that is going to No logos, no colors, brand images, or promotional information. This is the law. So you have different names of different cigarettes, and if you want them, you have to know the difference yourself. Look at these. Smoking causes blindness. Wow, look at these. These are great pictures. So yeah, these are plain packaging. There's, I guess, supposed to make you look disgusting and scary to other people too. And now they even have, like, you know, how can you quit? So that's the law on regulating cigarettes, is plain packaging. Of course, they have laws on where to sell and who can buy and age restrictions. Alcohol is another one that's a little bit maybe tricky to regulate. Going back now to 122. The Alcohol Beverages Advertising Code is a code of practice developed by the alcohol industry. This is called self-regulation. If you let the industry regulate themselves, they're saying, trust us, we won't make a mistake, and if we don't make mistakes, then you don't have to put laws against us. So usually what happens is they end up being irresponsible. And the reason why we have regulations in the first place is because things need to be regulated. Children's television standards and commercial television industry codes of practices restrict alcohol advertising from 8:30 p.m. Restricted to. You can only advertise from 8:30 p.m. to 5 a.m. Who's gonna have a drink at 4:30 a.m.? I don't know. That would be weird. And from 12 p.m. to 3 p.m. on school days. So when the parents are home and the kids are in school, we can advertise alcohol. Interesting. Maybe we shouldn't be advertising at that time, but they can. Alcohol advertising is also regulated by the ACCC. The aims of this code are to stop advertising that will encourage children to drink. Stop the promotion of irresponsible drinking, so getting too crazy, so you're supposed to drink, but you're supposed to look like you're not really getting drunk. Or something. I don't know. So each country will have its own style of norms and expectations of what people might feel is an advertisement that's, you know, related to their cultural differences. The alcohol ads. Well, here's a fun alcohol ad. Maybe you'll see something here. You can check it out. This is an ad. Is it an ad?
And smoothness. In Sweden, for example, 1 in 5 children suffer because their mum or dad drinks too much.
Oh my God!
For 6 generations, the House of Taman has created an exceptionally smooth experience. It comes from carefully selected ingredients and the purest spring water.
Pure water, happiness, people smiling, looking at each other. That's advertising for alcohol. It's a good feeling, right? Just relax.
In Sweden, for example, 1 in 5 children suffer because their mum or dad drinks too much. 8 out of 10 acts of violence in public places are alcohol-related, and more than 320,000 Swedes are addicted to alcohol. Now, how smooth is that?
So yeah, these are the dark side of alcohol and the advertisement. So remember, that can happen to you. Of course, you have these, you know, there was a trend in the early 2000s for these things called Alco Pops. they looked like soft drinks, and I think you can still see them in Japan, for example, but they actually had alcohol in them, even though they were soft drinks. I actually even had a student in one of my IELTS classes drink some alcohol in class. It was this one called Strongbow or something, this apple cider alcohol. And I said, "You can't drink this in class." And he said, "It's just apple juice." Sal, you know it's not apple juice. I hope he knows it's not apple juice and he's not drinking 5 of them every day. That would be horrible. So anyway, the point is that they can somehow trick. There's a confusion of, there's tricking people into thinking that it's basically like fun or like, fruity or sweet, and it's not about that. It doesn't really tell, it's making you want to drink it besides the alcohol content, and it might be for young people for some reason like sweet things. So that was made illegal, and they had to fight against them. So those are called alco pops, and then they got regulated. And now there's regulation about selling alcohol online. In Vietnam, you can still do that, so that's kind of amazing. The drinking age is still 18. As you can see here, I'm not going to show the whole video, but this is another issue of regulation is all the cigarette advertisements, of course, but you also had in the movies, right? You have people who smoke in the movies. There's The Mask featuring Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey's blowing smoke rings like hearts, which I don't think is particularly romantic, but it might be for some people. So a lot of these movies, they're trying. As long as they don't put the brand in there, I suppose they're not really advertising the product in terms of the brand, but it's called cross-promotion, or product placement, and it can definitely be considered some kind of way to get young people or people who might think that it's cool to smoke, to think that smoking is okay because it's in a movie. But it's also part of our, it's part of our history. If you were going to make a movie about the 1950s, I think you would probably have to show a bunch of people smoking all the time because that's what they did. So, there's a fine line between marketing and also realistic depiction. But anyway, alcohol is limited in its advertising, and it's about there's CSR. So the point I'm trying to make is that there's self-regulation up to a point, and then there's a point where the government has to actually make laws. The last one is probably the one that's the most kind of gray area because children are involved. And it's obvious that we don't want children to smoke or drink alcohol, but it's maybe not so obvious which fast foods are actually dangerous or not for young people. So, there's a different, so here, let me look at this video. This one is kind of funny-ish. Junk food advertisements for kids.
If you've got kids watching TV, and who doesn't, you've got kids watching junk food ads. With their dancing leprechauns and cuddly polar bears, companies do a great job selling their products in the most entertaining and memorable ways. And for young kids, this kind of marketing is especially hard to resist. Today, billions of dollars are spent on marketing sugary cereals, soda, snacks, and fast food. And it goes beyond TV ads to movie tie-ins, product placement, and celebrity endorsements.
Embrace your past, but live for now.
Popular junk food products often use cartoon characters and even have their own websites, apps, social media pages, and interactive games. So how can parents steer kids away from all the calls for unhealthy snacks? First, avoid the ads. Use DVDs or DVRs to skip the commercials. Also, watch the websites kids visit, since some popular gaming sites are really entertaining commercials in disguise. Next, ID those ads. When you watch TV or play online with your kids, point out the products and logos used as props in the storyline, and let them know the goal of all this is to sell something. Finally, talk about the star factor. Lots of companies want their product to appear cool. Remind your kid that the athlete tweeting a photo with his favorite soft drink is probably being paid to do so. While many food marketers are starting to make an effort to be more responsible in their marketing, packaging, and ingredients, it's still important to talk to your kids about which of these efforts produce genuinely healthy results and which are simply trying to cash in on a trend. For more tips and advice, check out our mobile app or visit us at commonsense.org. I'm Lori Burke.
So yeah, that gets very, very, very gray, right? You know, we're talking about parents who are, you know, of course your parents are supposed to understand. She recommends parents talk to your children. Explain to your children how your children are being manipulated and psychologically challenged by an advertising business, which she already said was billions of dollars. So we have billions of dollars of psychological research on how to break through to children, and yet the average parent is supposed to stand up to those billions of dollars of psychology and manipulation and be able to explain to their children how it works. I think that's hard. We are in a position now, I mean, we can see what's on TV. It's pretty clear which advertisements, I think, are pushing children's products. When you get to movies and cross-promotion and McDonald's mixed with the movie Cars, then it starts to, I mean, my son is like telling my wife, hey, we have to go to McDonald's because we have to get these dolls that they're going to give you when you buy a Happy Meal or whatever. So that's still pretty good, pretty understandable. You can tell a kid, no, we can just separate the toys and the food. We don't want to have the food and the toys together. So that can be done, but now you've got to look at it into, we're going to another level here, right? It's like how advertising rewires kids' brains. What we're running into now is a much stronger media, and you probably are familiar with this because now we're all stuck at home, so you probably notice what happens to us when we're at home for long periods of time is that we spend more time online. So if you spend a lot of time online and maybe you're smart, one of the recommendations here was that don't show general TV, you should buy DVDs. Okay, what year is this? But most of us are spending a lot of time on YouTube. YouTube, advertising sucks, right? I don't even know why they picked the advertising for me. They show the same ads over and over. It's really annoying. I feel like if I talk to the television, maybe it'll hear me and see, oh, this person doesn't like this advertisement. So, I mean, if they're listening to us, which they might be doing through our TV or our laptop or our phone, that they would catch on that I really don't need to learn English. They think, I mean, it makes me happy too. It means they don't really know me if they think I need to learn English. However, they're really annoying and they pop up at weird times, even in the middle of songs. What can be more annoying than listening to a song that you like and having an advertisement pop up in the middle of a song? So so this regulation for the internet is very slow, right? They're way behind on advertising regulation on the internet. But the thing that we don't really notice, and the thing that's probably to me is by far the most dangerous, is the way kids use YouTube. And there is a kids YouTube, but the kids don't want to use the kids YouTube. They want the real YouTube because the kids YouTube is not as exciting for some reason. And of course, that's up to the parents. The parents need to be able to sort that out. But the thing that you cannot really control is this recommended for you. So what happens is you see your kid go, like a game, okay, this advert gaming. You can see the game, you can see the branding, you're not really worried about it. But then when you have your kids on YouTube, they go down, if they're just, you know, they always have the recommended for you. So they can, I think that their algorithms, their AI knows when a kid is using YouTube. They can feel how fast they change the images. There should be a pattern, a very quick pattern to follow. And so they start recommending all these videos that are like, and now they start to have some regulation about these videos too, called unboxing videos. And this is, these videos are evil to me. They're the worst videos. I mean, they're just unbelievable manipulation. Unboxing video regulation. I think that I heard recently. Should children watch toy unboxing videos? No, they should not. They need to, you know, they need to be able to, so I don't, maybe they haven't passed the laws yet. And they're not there. Toy unboxing, living in an unregulated material world. You know, unboxing videos fuel kids' tantrums, anger, and breed consumerism. It's just the worst. Let me put it this way. I'll explain it really quickly. So what happens is you see, your child sees a spoiled, rich kid gets new toys in every video. Their parents are there, and it's clear, they don't say that the toy comes from a company. It does. The company uses the channel to advertise its products. It looks like the toy comes from the parent. So the parents are there in the background. And so you feel, oh, okay, the child sees, oh, this parent is giving toys to their children endlessly. Aren't they great? I wish I had parents that would give me a new toy every day. My parents kind of suck. They're not giving me toys enough. They keep complaining and showing me the old toys over and over again. First problem. Second problem is that not only are, you know, okay, so the children get to see the toys. That's already okay. I mean, some toys are okay, some are not. But they get to see the toys, and then the toys are done being used in 15, 20 minutes, and you get another toy. So that teaches children that things are disposable, that nothing lasts, that there's no toy that is like actually worth becoming special. Which, you know, as far as Toy Story goes as a movie, is one thing that's nice about it. It kind of tells you to appreciate your old toys. I like that. This tells you to just keep going to the next thing, over and over. Click, 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 YouTube video, YouTube video, YouTube video, YouTube video, toy, 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 toy. So it teaches kids how to just like have a short attention span, not appreciate their things, and want more and more over and over again. And then your parents, they suck, so they don't give you more, so now I have a bad relationship with my parents too. So that's the second thing. Third thing that really, really gets me is that these videos are commercial. So the people who put the videos up, they get millions of views and they get money from those millions of views. So not only, so the toys come for free, the views go to the channel keeps the money that goes from the channel goes to the parents. So not only are the parents in these videos making other people's children feel bad and pretending to be great parents, they're actually using their kids like little underage labor to make money for them. They're using their own children. They're milking them like a cow to make money and teaching them horrible values as they teach our children horrible values. It's disgusting. It's disgusting. It's the worst. And so what happens is, you know, if you have children, you'll see they get lost in these rabbit holes. They go down the path of unboxing videos that never ends. There's just a billion of them, and they keep getting recommended. So to me, that's kind of YouTube's fault. YouTube having this idea of recommended for you. Imagine if you, if you had you know, some whatever. You looked at one video about let's see, what would be a funny topic? One video about how to, you know, I don't know, clean up dog poop. And then every video, every day for the next million years, every time you go on YouTube, recommended for you was every other video about how to pick up dog poop over and over and over again. And you couldn't get out of it. It's recommended for you. Because you chose one video like this, now you have to go and, you know, this never-ending thing. That's YouTube's fault. It's not magic. It's not like, oh, okay, YouTube just randomly selected what they thought would be recommended for you. That's advertising. Somebody's paying to make sure that they keep getting the same unboxing videos over and over again. So it's quite horrible. The government can do some things, of course. We have, you know, we have advertisements that try to influence us to, you know, to see the problems of advertising to children. But YouTube and the billions of dollars of marketing are very strong, and we probably need more regulation. Here's an example of, I think, a government ad or some kind of public service ad. That's a heroin burger. I mean, it's not funny, but it's quite shocking. It's got a shock value to it. Anyway, so I just thought I would bring that up as a follow-up to bring together PR, which we looked at earlier this year, and misleading advertising, which is a big part of advertising to children and advertising regulation. So let's see, one more. Is there any? There's nothing happy. Is there anything happy? Don't we have anything happy? We don't have anything happy.
Consumers that we weigh out the product and its cost, and we come to the right decision based on what will maximise our pleasure. And yet, just bought this Justin Bieber singing toothbrush.
There you go, cross promotion, Justin Bieber electric toothbrush. So we have to be, it's all happening, right? This is for young people supposedly, right? Teenagers, and they try to make something look cool. Is it regulated? Rational? Are we rational consumers? Anyway, nice to talk to you today. I will upload this later. Happy Hong Kong!